Hey, this is Scott, and today I'm going to be talking about the Azden Pro XD wireless lav mic system. So in my unboxing video, I actually talked about a lot of the kind of features and specs, and I showed all the different buttons on this system, the receiver, the transceiver, everything like that, what's included in the kit. So if you want to see more about that, then check out my unboxing video. I'll put the link on screen and down below. Today is more of a kind of final review, just talking about my feelings about the system after having used it for a few weeks now. And I'll also give you a distance test to show you how well it holds up at different distances and compare that to what Azden claims it can do. So we're going to go ahead and start this off with the distance test because I think that's one of the probably most important factors of a wireless mic system, is how well it can actually keep that signal between different distances. And I actually did test that out a few days ago when we had a little bit of a break in the rain. It's been raining like non-stop recently, but I did get out here to test that, and I did have a chance to look at those results, and I was very pleased with them. Azden claims this can work up to around 35 meters, and I actually tested it beyond that and it worked no problem at all. So I think Azden claims is, if anything, a conservative one, which is a very good sign. I'm not going to bother showing you any tests in indoor environments or like heavy Wi-Fi type areas, because although yes, this can be affected by those things, wireless systems in the area, Bluetooth, radio signals, things like that, as a digital Wi-Fi system, this can be, the performance of this can be affected by those things. I think that any tests are going to be a little bit misleading, because there's a really high chance that whatever situation you are hoping to use this in is going to be a little bit different from mine. And that little bit of a difference can make a huge difference in the actual performance. If the walls are made of a different material, if you actually have more or less Wi-Fi systems, if there's a radio tower close by, if there's a ton of different things that could really affect that. And I don't want to show you some test that gives you good results or gives you bad results, and then you go and try it and have the opposite experience. So I'm just going to test this out, or I did test this out in this kind of open area, just to see, again, how it can hold up to Azden's claims of 35 meters. And if it does, which it did, perform well, then I think that's a good sign that it works as it should. And any kind of interference that you're going to find in your environment is going to affect this pretty much equally as it would affect, I think, most other systems in this general price range. So long story short, I'm going to go ahead and show you this test. So I'm at 2 meters now, and I'm going to walk back. So now I'm about 10 meters from the camera, and hopefully you can still hear me. This is 10 meters. So now I'm about 20 meters from the camera, and hopefully you should still be able to see that, hear this. More or less line of sight, it's covered by my shirt, but that shouldn't really have much of an effect. I'm going to walk back to 30 meters and just see how that sounds. So now I am at about 30 meters. I'm very roughly measuring this, so I'm not sure exactly how accurate it is. So this is now approximately the recommended distance, or the estimated distance that it can work at, up to 35 meters in optimal conditions. I think this is pretty optimal. I'm going to walk back 5 more meters to 40 meters and see how that sounds. So now I should be at about 40 meters, and this is above the recommended, or the claimed 35 meters of working distance. So now this is about 45 meters, and this is 10 meters longer than it says it can work at. So if I can still keep a connection at this in these optimal conditions, then I would think that its claim is pretty accurate and pretty reliable. So now I'm at about 50 meters. This is as far as I can go in this current location. I'm working by myself. I have no idea if this audio is reaching the camera or not. So as far as audio quality goes, in this video I have obviously been using this Azden Pro XD system with the mic that was included, so you can hear what the audio sounds like. I'm not going to bother doing any EQ or anything on this audio. I'll adjust the levels, but that's it. What you hear is pretty much what you're going to get using this mic and wireless combination. But of course, the nice thing about this system is you can use any other microphone that you want with it, as long as it has that 3.5 millimeter plug. This is a TRRS into the transceiver, but they do have a TRS to TRRS adapter cable that is included in the pack, so you don't have to go out and get anything else. You can use those TRS microphones as well just by using that adapter cable, and it's great they did include it in here. So besides the actual performance, some of the biggest appeals of this system are of course the price and the size. And well, I can't really say it's budget friendly, because obviously everybody's budget is going to be different. When you take a look at the set of features and the performance and the build quality and compare it to some of the other systems on the market, this is very fairly, or more than fairly, it's very well priced. It's a bargain actually for all that you're getting and the performance that you're getting. So I think it's fair to say that when you think about those things, yes, it is a fairly budget-friendly system. As for the size, if you watch my unboxing video, you can see that this is really smaller than a pack of cards, for example. It's very compact and very lightweight. And it's great because you can easily, hide it in your pocket or on your belt loop, under your shirt, under your t-shirt or something like that. And it's not going to be really noticeable. It's not heavy, it's not big and bulky. As a more budget-friendly option, though, of course there are going to be some cutbacks somewhere. You're not going to get all of the bells and whistles that you'll get with a more expensive system like built-in limiters or a high-frequency boosts or anything like that. But the benefit of that is that this is really simple and straightforward. You don't have a lot to mess with that you run a risk of messing it up, especially if this is your first time using a wireless system. It's just, you turn it on and it's ready to go. It's really, really simple. The only thing you can really adjust on here is the volume. And even then, you just want to adjust it to kind of work together with your preamps and your camera to get the best quality possible. Usually turning the volume up on the receiver and turning the volume down on your camera would be the best way to go. And that's really all there is to it. You just turn it on and you're ready to go. Very, very simple and easy to use. You don't have to pair the transmitter and receiver, anything like that. Very, very simple, and I like that. It's fast and quick and easy. As a side effect of that also, you don't have any kind of digital screen. There's not really much of a use of it, but there's no information display. You have two little icons for the power and the wireless connection, and those just light up basically. So one lights up green, the power icon lights up green to show you that the power is on. It will turn red before the battery dies, and then also you have the wireless icon, which will blink if it's not connected, if you only have the receiver turned on, for example. And then once it's connected, it will stay a solid green to let you know that you're all set to go. That's all there is to it. You don't have that detailed battery display, but the battery on here does last very long. They claim it lasts something like 11 hours for the transceiver and 16 for the receiver, and I tested it and it really, really does, if not longer. It has a very long battery life, and that's really great. You can go out for a full day, you can keep it on the whole day if you want, and you're not going to have to worry about it. You can come home, you can recharge it in just a couple hours and be ready to go the next day. Really great point for the battery life on here. You also, of course, can't see that volume level as you dial it in, but the way that they dealt with that is every time you turn this off and back on again, the volume is going to reset to the same level. So whenever you power this on, it's going to be the same starting point. If you want to get to a certain point from there, just go from that same starting point. All you have to do is remember where it starts, and then you can dial it in from there if you want to get repeatable results. If you want to get the same level of audio after you've already turned it off and turn it back on again, just dial it in the same from that same starting point. Of course, it is also plastic, so you want to be careful not to drop it or really beat it up too much. It's probably not going to hold up to too much wear and tear compared to some more robust systems. But again, thinking of the price, it's more than enough. The quality of the plastic does feel just fine. It doesn't feel cheap. And there is actually a little bit of a rubber texture around the outside of it, which helps both to hold it so that way you don't drop it. And also just, it actually does give it a little bit more of an expensive feel. It's a stupid thing to say, but I think if it were made of just 100% pure plastic, then it might feel a little bit cheaper. With that rubber around the edge, it does feel like a little bit more of a high quality product. Maybe that's just me, maybe it doesn't matter, but anyway, it is there. So overall, for what it is, I really, really do like this system. It's cheap, it's reliable, it's small, it's lightweight, and the audio quality is what it is. But again, you have the flexibility of changing out the microphone if you want to. But it's a great price, a great value, easy to use, quick to use, small, has a long battery life, and it holds up at very far distances, at least in these optimal conditions. Again, if you're in a different environment, that may affect you differently, but that's going to be the same for most systems, like I said, in this general kind of entry or mid-level price range. If you need more features, then that's the end of it. There's nothing really to argue there, but if you don't need those features, this is a really, really great system to use. Again, if you're just getting into your first wireless system, it's a really great start. It won't let you down. It will keep you happy for a long time, I think. And if you just want something as a backup or something extra to add to your kit that doesn't break the bank, I think it's also a great choice there. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below and I will definitely get back to you. If you liked this video or found it helpful, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to see more in the future, and as always, thank you for watching.